Shedeur Sanders been lining it up. Rookie mini camp, OTAs. I've been seeing a lot of. I saw a lot of shit the first week. The second week not so much, but some people battle between Dylan Gabriel, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett. I want to know y'all thoughts on everything. I know what Jax feels like, but I need Ash and Brad. Like, what? How y'all feeling about this whole Shedeur Sanders situation so far?
All right, so I'll kick it off. First thing with Shedeur that's big with me is they got the OTAs going on right now. First 2 days of OTAs, actually I think the entirety of OTAs he lit it up. I think like maybe the second day they said he was 7-9 in the drills, 3 TDs. Everybody else got more reps than him, which is the part that's like concerning for me. But like he's been shining OTAs. It's been good reviews from the players that he's met on the Browns so far, even though everybody's there, like Myles Garrett, not even at the OTAs. But I just think that Shedeur is performing, and he was supposed to be a first-round talent. He ended up getting drafted in the 5th round, and I think it's ridiculous that the narrative surrounding him is that we're going to treat him like a normal 5th-round pick. Like he has to earn a spot on the roster. Like he's better than Dylan Gabriel. And I feel like, and it's been like noticed over the OTAs immediately. So like if they had to cut one of the two, it's clear who you'd rather keep. And then they got this loaded quarterback roster, but I just think Shedeur been balling, and I want to be able to see him get on the field. And I wanted to be sooner than later. Like I think it sounds to me like I want to see him start from the jump, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to end up starting with Joe Flacco. Brad, what you think?
I think Shedeur is going to start by the end of the year. For sure. They're going to start with Joe Flacco, but for sure. That nigga Dylan Gabriel, bro, he's going to the practice squad. Kenny Pickett going to get cut. Let's get that out the way. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to stay on the team for long, bro. And they're just doing this whole, run around because, Shamar, you might have – I said Shamar. Shedeur, I'm thinking about that nigga right now, bro. Niggas that need to play fucking football, bro. Shedeur, bro. That nigga, hey, you just gotta keep balling, bro. They're not letting him play, bro. They gonna keep trying to hold him back, bro. And they just gotta play, bro. You gonna start? I'll have him.
I'm so sorry, but you were like, Ash, you had said it alarmed you, or you didn't say alarmed, but you were like, you were bothered or worried or whatever that all the other quarterbacks played more than him. Like he was the 4th round quarterback. He was the last quarterback taken. Of course, they're gonna give him more reps.
That's what I'm saying. Why are we gonna treat him? Why are we treating it as if he was really a 5th round quarterback?
Because he was. Like
you are what you drafted at, bro.
I get that, but he was rated as a top quarterback. Like I it's just in my personal opinion. I think
media as a top 10 quarterback. Like I do think Shedeur was. I think he should have been drafted earlier than he was, but his ratings was all like based on what the media thought. We don't know how.
It wasn't just based on what the media thought. It was based on what actual scouts were saying. With people who saw him playing, actual analysts, it wasn't just the media saying Shedeur. It was the actual people watching the games that give reporting to scouting the teams that was also saying that he was the first or second round.
They get these report, and how are you learning about this? Through the media. Because like we don't know what's actually going on in the official log. Like a scout, this hell is scouts on the NFL team.
So we think everybody was just lying to the media saying Shedeur was great, and the whole time behind closed doors.
Bro, people lie to the media.
Not every scout liked Shedeur.
I feel like there were a few scouts who didn't like Shedeur, but the overall consensus was that he was a top 10 pick, not even a 1st round pick. That he was a top 10 pick.
The overall consensus.
To slide to the 5th round, I don't know. I don't think he's your average 5th round pick.
The overall consensus was that he was going to be that he was a 1st round type of quarterback, but I never heard anybody say, like, once the season ended and people started getting into like the film for real, nobody was like, oh, he's a deserving of a top 10 pick. They were just like,
nobody was saying he was a top 10 player in the draft. However, given the position he plays, like it was supposed to be guaranteed. He was the projected number 1 pick, man, for half the year.
And then people started looking at and was like, Ward much better than this man.
But being projected the 1st pick and then slide into the 5th round, we can't treat him like a regular 5th round pick.
I think the slide is crazy, but you can definitely treat him like a regular 5th round pick because he was in fact a regular 5th round pick.
Like I do think it makes sense for him to be getting. It makes sense for him to be getting less reps because he is the 5th round pick, like that, because that's the way teams run things. So it does make sense from that perspective. However, I just think with him immediately showing that he's better than these other QBs, and given what his supposed draft pedigree was before this slide, before draft day, all the way up until draft day, his pedigree was much higher than what he ended up getting picked as. They need to move him up the roster faster. That's basically all I'm saying. Like if he's lighting it on fire, drop Dylan Gabriel down to the practice squad, put him at the last string. You know what I'm saying? Cut Kenny Pickett, whatever you're gonna do. I mean, people talk about Deshaun Watson playing this year, but nah.
Deshaun Watson's not.
Deshaun
Watson's playing that
jelly right now. But nah, bro. When it comes to Shedeur, bro, even though you talking about the on the field shit, yeah, all right, cool. He looked good on the field, bro. But that off the field, but that in the locker room shit, or that in the film room shit, that shit matter, bro. Maybe he's immature in those fashions, bro. Maybe coaches didn't like him when he was doing that shit during the draft, bro.
Every review, every scout. The only thing is people ain't like his personality, man. That's the only thing people keep talking about. Oh, he's arrogant. He's a film monster. All the inside reviews that he watches film. He's a student of the game. He's coachable. This is what's coming out of Browns OTAs right now. He knows what he's talking about. He knows the reads. He's making the right plays. He's listening to everything the coach is saying. He's asking all the right questions. He even remarked on the Browns the locker room and the temperament in the Browns QB room right now, because there's so many different personalities and so many different visions and dreams of what's going on. And he was basically, I feel like he was basically saying, like, I'm asking questions, I'm getting better, like with everybody else that's in the room, just because they got different perspectives, different personalities, different football walks. So I'm a believer in Shedeur. I want to see him get on the field, figure it out. But I just, I feel like we're trying to treat it like it's something that it is what it ain't. Like, get that boy on the field, man. Get that boy on the field.
He's not no regular 5th round pick, because if he was a regular 5th round pick, we wouldn't be talking about this nigga like that.
Exactly.
That nigga, but just off the strength of him being Shedeur Sanders, that nigga's not no regular 5th round pick, nigga. That nigga's on almost every headline. Like Bronny James is not
jersey sales.
Damn, he got drafted equivalent of Bronny James, the 2nd round in the NBA to the 5th round in the NFL.
Honestly, I don't even think that's a good equivalent, because 2nd round picks almost never make teams in the NBA, man. 2nd round picks, 1st round picks make teams in the NBA. It's hard to make it in the NBA.
I just think we have to realize that no matter what, we're still talking about the Browns. It's the Browns, my nigga. Like I don't expect. I don't have faith.
The right decision is, they won't make it. Whatever the right decision is, they won't make it.
They won't make the right decision. He's gonna have to. Rise to the occasion. Battle through adversity for real.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Browns.
If he could end up being good for the Browns, he might be the GOAT, to be completely honest.
Yeah, outside of Baker Mayfield, you can't. It's not a lot of quarterbacks.
That's what it's setting up, man. It's a Cinderella story.
I survived Cleveland. Surviving Cleveland. They should make a Netflix series called Surviving Cleveland. Surviving the Browns.
That's for sure going to be that's going to be a 30 for 30. Once the Browns finally get a good quarterback, they're going to make a 30 for 30 about all the quarterbacks that was trash.
God, before we get off this conversation, what week, if any week, do you see Shedeur Sanders starting or taking a starting spot in this next season? Jax, what week do you see? If you were a betting man, I know you're not, but
week 13. Because I don't think he's gonna be the first one. He's going to be the first one called up to start. I think it'll be
week 10. He for sure done week 10.
Week 10?
Yeah.
Ash?
All right, so what I'm thinking is, what I would like to see is week 4. I think he come up. I think he gonna find his way to the backup spot in training camp. I think he gonna get to the backup spot in training camp. I want to see week 4, but realistically though, I'll probably say week 12. Like week 12, maybe week 13. I think that's realistically when we'll see him on the field. But I'd like to be I like it to be by week 4.
Hey,
I don't think that was very optimistic, bro. I fuck with my boy, but I'm like, oh, I was like, week 4, that's kind of early. I was like, ooh.
It's the Browns. What they playing for? What the Browns playing for?
I don't know, bro.
the fact, like this is me. I'm like, the Browns are gonna be shitty this year, bro. Like they're not gonna be good.
Exactly.
They're not gonna be good. So I'm gonna say week 8 or whenever their bye week is. I don't know when their bye week is, but coming out that bye, he might come out of there because if they start 0-6, nigga, who cares? Just throw the nigga in at that point. You just start testing what you have, nigga. At that point, I think Joe Flacco trying to play 0-16 season? No. Sit that nigga down. Well, you heard
if you set the over-under at week 9.5, I'd probably take the over, like if I had to bet money on it, but I want to see him in there before that.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Browns schedule right now. They got a rough schedule. It starts Cincinnati, Baltimore, Green Bay, Detroit, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, Miami, New England, and then the bye week. Like they could go 0-8 to start.
They winning game 1, right? They winning against Cincinnati. Don't matter who their starting quarterback is, bro. Cincinnati sucks.
Oh God. Cincinnati don't never win their first games. Their first 2 games, they always doing some bullshit.
So you know they're gonna get that false hope in their head, bro. I'm just letting you know.
We got something. No,
they gonna think they got something. Then everything else gonna crumble after that. They gonna go like 1-5, and then they're gonna be like, all right, Jackson Dart or Kenny Pickett, or whoever. They're gonna put somebody else, and then they're gonna go for a little bit. Then they're gonna go 1-10. And then they're gonna put my boy Shedeur in, bro.
The Browns were like bad. Why is their schedule so tough? Like this is not a last place schedule.
At all, bro. At all. This shit ass. But
they have no primetime games.
They don't deserve one.
They favorite in one game the whole season. They favorite when the Titans come to town. That's the only game they favorite in the whole season.
Low key, I'll put Shedeur in when he plays
what's the over under for the season?
When he play New England, that's the time I'll put Shedeur in. Like, fuck it, why not? We ain't got nothing to lose. If we 0-8, nigga, fuck it. What the fuck we doing? Oh, I'm just gonna sit him in just to sit him. No, nigga. If your quarterback is ass,
that's when they're gonna put Dylan Gabriel in, and he gonna get a couple.
And when that nigga gets his knee blunt, well, let me stop. When that nigga get injured,
why he gotta get injured? Maybe he just won't be good. Damn.
Or he can get injured, but something a little bit more minor. Please?
Yeah.
When he sprained his pinky finger, like you could have said something like that.
Hey, Browns over under for wins this season set at 4.5. If Shedeur was starting the whole season, I'm taking it over.
I'm taking that over if it was Shedeur. I ain't gonna lie.
If it was Shedeur, I'm taking that over. If it was for the whole season, I'm taking Shedeur over.
They gonna get 4 wins, bro.
The Browns defense always show up. They gonna muster a run game out of nowhere just because they come from the heart of football.
Like a fucking wide receiver, bro. They better fucking get some defensive wins, bro. I don't care.
The locker room already fuck with them. The locker room already fuck with the niggas. So I know he can rally them niggas. I know they can rally. He can rally them to at least 5 games.
We can't act like he a normal. He's not a typical 5th round pick.
You said what?
I said James Winston can rally a locker room too.
Oh God,
James Winston a little bit too goofy. Like he the type where you respect it because he come with the energy every day, but he's also like, this nigga weirdo.
I mean,
and he throw picks.
He give James Winston give like, I believe in you and I do believe you a good dude, but kind of like youth pastor vibes a little bit, where it's like you forcing this a little bit.
I don't think Jameis forced. I think that's just how Jameis was born.
It is just how he is though, and that's why you end up believing in him. But when you first meet him, you're like, is this really you? And then you be around him so much, you're like, yo, this really you. I can get behind this guy.
Take a look.
He is just always energetic.
I think it might be like a partial chromosome missing. Like, I don't know, like just slight,
not the full one, just like a corner of it.
It's just, Nick.
Jameis Winston took Molly one time in college, and that shit never left his system.
Hey, man. That nigga still thought he was getting losses for free, bro. I'll never forgive that nigga, bro.
When he walked out of that snow game that Cleveland had this past year, and he was looking around the way his eyes was widening, he had pure giddy in his spirit.
That's what I'm saying.
I was like, he looked high, and that's when I was like, yeah, bro. He took some money in college and it's been stuck in his system.
Leave Jameis alone. He high off life.
Yeah,
that's why he was stealing them crab legs.
He found the pink bag Stephon Diggs had.
Oh my God.